Hey everyone, and welcome to day 30 of my horror movie review marathon, and I've got The Crow movie review. On the night before Halloween, a couple who are about to get married are murdered by a gang, and then 1 year later does the groom-to-be, named Eric Draven, return from the grave to exact vengeance. As far as the story goes, this movie, which was released in 1994, which is also to be considered a cult classic, and directed by Alex Proyas, makes this movie which, I would say that it may not be considered a true horror film, but despite some of the events that occurred in this movie, I would say that it is kind of a thriller because of what ends up happening after the lead character comes back from the dead and wants to take care of all of the bad guys that destroyed his life and the life of his fiancée. I actually have really enjoyed watching this movie. I've definitely seen it countless times, more than I could remember, and each time I'm always just saddened at the fact that the lead actor passed away before this movie came out. And you definitely have that similar situation in the modern day when The Dark Knight came out, and this is a similar kind of movie with a similar type of painted face character, like the Joker, played by Heath Ledger, who also passed away at such a young age. And you definitely see some similarities with some of the events that happen in this movie. The Crow by itself, I would say that it is a really good film, and I think it definitely holds up to this day because of all of the things that happen. You're seeing basically this one guy who is just using this symbol to get back at those who hurt him. As far as the casting goes, you've got Brandon Lee, who plays Eric Draven. He's like this rocker guy. He was about to get married, coming back from all of that, having to relive all of these different events and memories, even through other people. It definitely takes a toll on him, and just seeing the way that he performed in this movie, and even just by his appearance alone, you definitely saw how much he put into this role. I mean, you can't not only be intimidating, he definitely has real feelings, and you definitely see that emotional balance to his character, and I really loved to see that in this movie. And then you've got the bad guy, the main boss of this gang, played by Michael Wincott, and of course at the time I found him just really annoying, and I don't know if it was because I couldn't quite take his character seriously, but he definitely was ruthless and he was bad, but I wouldn't necessarily say that he was the one that was pulling most of the weight, besides some of those gangbangers that were doing all of these really horrible, atrocious things. And so that gives Brandon Lee's character just cause to get back at them. This trustworthy cop who kind of reminds me of Jim Gordon in a way, because you've got Ernie Hudson who is in this movie, and I really like him because he is funny. He's a serious type of character, even though he's not necessarily taken seriously by other people, but I think he does play a good role here. This little girl named Sarah, who's played by Rochelle Davis, she's also got some ties to a lot of these characters and really good scenes. Everybody else that was in this movie I didn't really care too much about, because I didn't really find their characters very appealing. As far as the things that I liked about this movie, right off the bat I would say that from the beginning to the end there was always this constant stylish filming, and the style was sort of like a just dark tones everywhere. I mean, come on, this movie is set during Devil's Night, hence the 30th of October is what it's called. And then I really liked seeing the use of the crow symbol everywhere, whether it was a literal crow or just, a fiery creation of a crow symbol or in blood. I thought that was really cool. But then you've also got the action and some of those scenes that were going on. I mean, the stunts I thought were really cool and well done. You've also got some of those brutal scenes and torture scenes that maybe, some of these characters did deserve that, and I'm not complaining too much, considering that it just furthers the character of Eric Draven even more. It was very heartfelt, and you definitely have those emotional scenes, and I would say that I did tear up at one point while watching this movie. Not this time, but when I saw this, I was actually crying, like one of the first times that I saw Brandon Lee on the screen. But unfortunately, the things that I didn't really like about this movie was that I felt like some of the dialogue scenes suffered, especially the ones with the antagonists in them, because I just, I was getting really annoyed by how they were acting and how it was all sort of arranged, and I just wanted to see more of the Crow and what he could do, and not that he didn't have enough to do, because he was kicking serious butt in this movie. So overall, I would say that The Crow is still a pretty decent film to this day, considering it's been. I would definitely recommend seeing this movie because, like I said, it is a cult classic, and I would give this 4 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of The Crow, and come back tomorrow for day 31 of my horror movie review marathon. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. Upcoming movie reviews, movie updates. Come back every week for a Trail Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.